Okay, time for some man time. Sports edition. In light of the Jonathan Kuminga trade rumors, I thought I'd come on here and give my 2 cents. I've been holding on to this shit for years. Steve Kerr is not that great of a coach. Average at best. Average at best. In fact, he inherited a team that really didn't need to be coached. Sure, they were young, but they had the fundamentals and the skill set that made all the old teams that they were playing against have to change up the way they play. But the truth of the matter is that blueprint was already being played by the Spurs. Yeah, the Spurs already had that same blueprint. That's why they rotated the whole goddamn bench. Everybody played. Everybody had their time to shine. Everybody made a contribution. Do you know what that means? That means he had a team that was already ready to go on a run to the very least. You know what else that means? That means no matter what Steve Kerr did or did not do, they were going to be good anyway. Do you know why? Because they didn't have a first team. They had a first team and a second team that was pretty much a first team. And the third team was pretty much a second team that could have been like a 6-man. Yeah. When you got Zaza Pachulia, when you got David Lee, Maurice Bates, Festus Ezeli, you got Andre Iguodala, you had Sean Livingston. I can go on and on and on. But those guys, the role that they played is what made them so good. Because they were all big men. And they all fed the little men. But they all ran, and they ran hard. All game long. That's how they were so good. That's why they were killing shit. Because they were running teams out of the fucking building. That's what OKC is doing right now. And did last year. And the year before that. And the year before that. Yeah. That's what the Spurs did. Then we hear, oh, Kevin Durant, the Kevin Durant era Golden State Warriors. That's a bullshit lie. That was not the best team. It was the best starting 5. I'm a Kevin Durant fan. But he did not make the Golden State Warriors team better. He made the first 5 better. Yeah. In fact, let's go a little deeper. He made the top 7, the first 7 better. But after that, who did you have to replace Zaza Pachulia? I'll wait. Who else did you have to replace Maurice Bates, Festus Ezeli, and David Lee, and Barbosa? I'll wait. Again, I can keep going, but we already know Sean Livingston was still there, right? Right. We already know Andre Iguodala was still there, right? Right. Jordan Bell couldn't replace any of those guys. So what Steve Kerr essentially did was started playing small ball. And shit went down. That's why when Clay got hurt, yeah, I know. When Curry got hurt, yeah, I know. When KD got hurt, yeah, I know, because they couldn't stop nobody. Yeah, they sacrificed defense for offense. Say it again with me, everyone. They sacrificed defense. I'm sorry. They sacrificed the defense for the offense. That's not what the first Warriors team that he inherited from Mark Jackson was built upon. They all played defense. Curry used to hurt himself playing defense. They all played defense. Now, all of a sudden, when Kerr comes, all they do is offense. The defense goes downhill every year. Now, after that, they get Weissman. Barely play him. Don't know how to develop him. Fast forward a couple years, then they get Kuminga. Barely plays him. Don't know how to develop him. But Mark Jackson did. Yeah, did the same thing in the Olympics to Jason Tatum. Because he's not that good of a coach. All of those boys could have got run. All of them. But nope. He stuck with the narrative because he's not that good of a coach. He's a politician. not a good coach. He's a great politician, not a great coach. He's average at best. In fact, watch this. Who do you think they should have chose to keep? Draymond Green, who has no fucking self-control? Who throws tantrums like a little baby? That'll hurt his team on purpose because he has no fucking self-control? Or Kevin Durant? And guess what Steve Kerr did? I know. And I know you know. Because we were champions before. Yeah, nigga. But now I'm champion MVP. Yeah, we don't need you. Who do you think they needed less? Draymond Green or Kevin Durant? I know. Great politician. Average fucking coach. So, Kuminga, I'm glad you're out of there, man. Go somewhere and get off. Make it happen. Show them why they were making the wrong moves. And by the way, you don't need players to get Curry open because nobody in the NBA moves without the ball the way Curry moves without the ball. What you need is other guys who can also get open to create space for Curry. It's easier for Curry to beat one person than three. And because right now you have Curry on the floor and then you have Draymond Green on the floor, but everybody else that you have on the floor is not really getting respected the way that you would like them to get respected, not even Draymond Green. So unless Draymond Green has a day where he gets off a little bit, you don't have double coverages on the other guys. They are all on Curry. But guess who can make a difference in that? Kuminga. Because he makes big men have to be honest. Because he can take you to the rack. He is athletic. He can jump. And all he needs to do is be developed to become a shooter, an elite shooter, or a passer. If you don't know how to control that, you are not a good coach. The same way you didn't know how to fit Jason Tatum into the rotation in the Olympics. Now, with that being said, I bow out. Man, time out.